Alright, I'm going to show you how to make rocket fuel today. Not from sugar like a lot of people have been using, but I'm going to use it from Laffy Taffy. Because, well, I end up with a bunch of banana ones, and, well, I usually just end up throwing them out. They've just been sitting there for a while. So I've figured out how to make rocket fuel from them. The ratios that you're going to want is going to be 5 to 7 ratio. 5 grams of candy to 7 grams of potassium nitrate. I'm using a double boiler setup here. I'm going to melt the candy with and start dissolving the potassium nitrate into. So let's start that process. First we take the candy, we put it in our double boiler, and we turn up the heat a little bit here. And this is going to take a little bit. So first nothing's going to be happening. It's going to take a little bit for that candy to heat up and start to melt. Okay, after a while the taffy should start to get soft, just like that. You'll be able to move around. This is real thick though, even though it's pretty hot. So I'm going to add just a couple drops of water to it, thin it out a little bit. Not too much, just enough just to thin it. There we go. Heat up a little bit more. This gets hot, so you're going to need a hot pad here. Mine's starting to get wet, so it's not working anymore. So I just have to deal with the pain. Or get a towel. No laughing. Okay, that's looking alright. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh out some potassium nitrate while that's going. I have about 44 grams of candy there, so I'm going to need, what did my paper say, 61.6 grams of potassium nitrate. So I'm going to start my scale up here. And start weighing the potassium nitrate. See, my stuff's a little lumpy. That's okay. It's all going to get dissolved in there. Okay, 61.2. What we're going to do, we're going to start to stir this in to the taffy. Just dump it in there. Turn my heat down a little bit. Hot pad on here. Start stirring that in there. I'd be using a larger container to do this, but I'm only trying to do a small batch just as a test, just to make sure my ratios are right. Okay, we're just going to let this go for a little bit and come back to you in a little bit when this is closer to being done. Okay, after about 10 minutes or so of stirring and wrestling with this, I actually had to add a couple drops of water more to thin it out a little bit more. You should get a pretty thick goo here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this out and I'm going to dump this on a piece of foil. Shake off any water so I don't get in with it. Some thick stuff. Wrestle as much as you can out of there. Set it aside. Try and get it off the spoon before it cools too much. There you go, Laffy Taffy our candy. You're going to let this sit and cool down for a little bit. You're going to go outside and we're going to take a burn test. See how this burns. Okay, what I've done is I've taken the rocket fuel candy, or the Laffy Taffy rocket fuel, and I put in a piece of aluminum foil, stuck a fuse in it. We're going to use this as a burn test. not too bad. I guess I got the ratios pretty close. Okay, after a while I let this cool off. You can see it's still kind of soft and pliable to a degree. I'm going to test it out and see how this burns. Burns like shit.